Hey friends, TeresaLouise here, and welcome to Sunday Sew and Chat. I hope everybody is doing well today. It's a beautiful day here in north central Idaho, up in the mountains. That's my singing. So let's see who we have here. Looks like we have a few people waiting. They in here. Hello, Polly. Hi, Joe. Hello, Nancy. Looks like Polly was our first commenter. Hello, Susan. And we have Suzanne. Hello, hello. Hello, Kay. Hi, Donna. Hi, Jamie. Hello, June. Hello, Patricia. Hi, Cindy. Hello, Jeannie. Thanks for being here, everybody. Hello, Marla. Hi, Terry. Okay. Hope everybody's doing well. I wasn't really sure what to work on today, so I just kind of been up here for a couple of hours in the sewing room and just kind of cleaning things up and seeing what I got going on because I haven't been doing much sewing for the last month or so. And but I did though get my friendship quilt done. I don't think I've shown that to you guys. I'll go get it. I forgot about that. I got Willa. So I'll see if I can just hang it up here on the design wall. That's what I should have done that already. Probably not straight. Okay. That's just, that's what happens when you're 5'5", right? So there's the friendship quilt. And I think I finished this up over on Katie's channel a few days ago. And I put I put a border around it, just one border. It was a 3-inch border. And really, I just put the border on there because there's so many seams. And it's really irritating when those seams pop open, which they do, especially when you border around there. You know what? You don't even have to. Oh, I went having an internet problem, of course, as normal. You really don't even have to keep this border on here if you don't want to. Once you get it quilted, you just cut it off or take it off. You don't have to keep it, but so I just like to have one on there. Like I said, when there are a lot of seams on the outside. So anyway, I think it turned out pretty nice, and it ended up, let me measure it. 54 1/4. By 70 1/2. Let me write that down. 58 1/4 by 70 1/2. By adding the 3-inch border on that. So anyway, there you go. I do have a topped finished. So I gotta plug in my iron because I am gonna work on the horse for a little while today. Just so I can say I have some progress. So let's see. Hello, Donna B. June, are you saying that it's 11 degrees outside? Hey, Geraldine, how are you doing? Thank you. Hello, Pam. Yeah, 11 degrees, burr. That does not sound. Yeah, nice recliner size, exactly. So I want to get this quilted. So, you know, I think it's a nice fall quilt. So I could have it downstairs on the sofa or recliner. And yeah, cuddle up. Let's see who else we have. Yeah, you could use it as the binding. You betcha. Yeah. June says, but by Tuesday it's going to be 57 out. Well, that's better. We're under 50 degrees. In fact, when I was talking to Katie yesterday, we were actually colder here than Katie was in Greenland, which is pretty surprising. But I've noticed that a lot of times Katie and my temperature is pretty close to the same, except for in August. I think we are a bit warmer here, but ooh, Polly said it was 36. Well, hi, Jess. How are you doing? Okay, so I kind of cleaned up my area over here too today, a little bit, a little bit. And so I'll give you, now I haven't, really have not worked on this quilt unless was live. So it should be about where we left off. Oh, we're going to take this. That's why it's so dark. I had to iron this panel. I'll move the quilt camera down in just a second. Anyway, I had to put this on the glass under the panel so I could iron the panel down, which I had to be very careful. I think I need some pieces of tape for that. Trying to keep it up there. I'm just using painter's tape, the blue stuff. Okay. So I decided to move the quilt up so that I could work on the stuff down below. So that's what I'm doing. Hi, Valerie. Gray and rainy in Brooklyn. Oh, awesome. Well, it's good to see you here. Think you're back in school, so you've been busy. Hello, Kathy R. Okay, so let me show you. All right. So there's the horse. Now, there are some places where I need to come in and do some repairs, but I'm going to wait until the very end to do that. And I'm going to hang it up behind me on the design wall when I go to do that. Repairs meaning there's a few places where I feel like this right in here should be a little bit lighter. I need to finish the eyeball and around the eyeball. I need to make some more hair up here. And yeah. And then once I get it up on the wall behind me and look at it from afar, I can kind of tell if there's any other stuff that I need to do. So, hello, Linda. So what I did was, so I moved it up and I put another piece of parchment paper down here. And then I'm getting ready to trace it on the parchment paper. So I'll do that next. And these two kind of overlap. And then I have it connected on the ends here with just pins. So thank you, Susan. Thank you, Jess. Will is doing good. She's over there chomping on her bone. I don't know if you can hear her, but yeah, chomping on the bone. Hello, Jacqueline. How are you doing? Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. I don't know if you can see that. Oh, yeah, you can kind of see it. So I have a light on underneath here. And I have another little light I can turn it on. I don't have the greatest, ooh, that was right, a lighting system here, but that's all right. I'll work with what you got, right? Also, I'm using this little iron and it was super, super dirty right here. When you are using batiks and you're using fusible, seems like your iron gets dirty pretty fast. I have quite a few samples of different iron cleaner products that I've gotten from the Sew Sampler box over the years. And the best one I have found is this Magic Iron Cleaner. Magic Iron Cleaner. Man, this stuff works great. Removes residue, safe for most irons, and it's non-flammable. It's even made in the USA. So, yeah. So earlier I cleaned that iron. Look at that. That's how dirty that iron was. Yeah. So all you have to do is put a dollop of this on your paper towel, and then you go just right into that cleaner and move it around like that, and that's what you look at. That unbelievable how dirty that little iron was. So this is good stuff. I like this stuff, and I have used this on my big iron, and it works really good on my big iron too. So if I was going to invest, this is what I would get. Magic Iron Cleaner. Okie doke. So now I am going to sit down, visit, and trace this. Hand sewing is so relaxing. Yes, it is, Kathy. I agree. Yeah, I think it's a pretty good product. I like it. The iron cleaner. Hi, Brenda. How are you today? Okay, so I'm just going to trace this onto my parchment paper. Now, I suppose you don't have to trace this because you can see through here. It just, I find it easier if it's traced on here. So, especially these little pieces. I'm almost done down to the bottom of the panel. If I would have straightened it out a little bit better, I would have been all the way to the bottom, but it got crooked, so that's all right. I'll work with it. That, oh, that was a wrinkle. All right, so now I need a eraser. Dang it. Tracing a wrinkle. A good thing about parchment paper is you can erase on it. Okay. Brenda has that iron cleaner. She hasn't tried it yet. Thank you, June. Yeah, I've done that too, Joe. She gets sometimes get interfacing on the iron. Hello, Kathy. Quilts, how are you doing? I can do a little bit. Welcome back, Nancy. I can do a little bit of hand sewing, but my hands get tired really easy. Same when I'm doing crochet. Crochet is a little bit easier on my hands than hand sewing. And I like to do cross stitch too. I started doing some of those Christmas ornaments. You do them by hand. They are, you know, the round ones, and you use fabric. They're really pretty. I think Kathy and I did some on her channel a few years back. And kind of keeps you, you know, your hands busy. They're fun to do. Boy, some of these pieces are really tiny. Hi, Joyce. Hello, Linda D. How are you doing? So, just tracing the pattern onto parchment paper here. And then, like, I might not be hitting every piece, but pretty close. And then I'm going to mark it, each section, what color goes there. And I found that made it a little bit easier for me up here. That way I don't have to keep lifting the parchment paper. Because some of these grayscale colors on here are pretty close in value, and so it's hard to tell if it, you know, which one is darker. I still had more to do up in here, but I think I got tired of doing it, so I'm like, I'm just going to move down for a while. And when I get back to these numbers, I'll move back up there and finish those. So, hi Mary. How are you today? So what are you guys working on today? Anything fun? I have not been sleeping well. Like getting up at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. Oh, I think tonight I am going to take a sleep aid and maybe even sleep on the couch, as my husband tends to wake me up, and not in a good way. His CPAP machine. His back gets to hurting too, and then I think that's why I wake up, because around 2, 3 o'clock he's laying on his back, which is, he shouldn't be doing, and that's when his CPAP machine quits working right. So yeah, I think he's the one that wakes me up the most. I hate to sleep out on the couch because I want to be in there in case he does need me, because I can definitely hear the machine when when he's not breathing right. And so I wake him up. Well, what if I'm not in there? What's going to happen? You know what I mean? So, oh, hi, Linda. Linda's working on a Christmas quilt top. Brenda's long Longarm a little bit. Geraldine is quilting and binding a double wedding ring. Oh, wow. Mary's putting a border on a collage quilt. Awesome. Kathy R. is cross-stitching the berry basket by Primrose Cottage. Very nice. Busy, busy. I really need to clean up my sewing room. It's a mess. Let's see. Susan. Loading up a few more totes to bring back into the house. I'm almost done moving all my stuff into the house. Oh, wow. That's quite the chore. Then you got to unload it. Oh, visiting with your granddaughter. Oh, how nice. Yeah, this time of year we get busier for sure. I was looking at the Christmas quilt that I have a panel for. It's like reindeer that I was thinking about doing for Brandon for Christmas this year. Not that he needs another quilt, but so I think I'm going to get that cut out so I can start sewing it. And it looks like it's pretty easy because it's a really big panel. And then you just put on these borders and squares and stuff. It's pretty simple design. So it shouldn't take me too long to do. And it is, I'll go get it here in a minute. It is very Christmassy. So it'll be like part of the decoration, right? I'll just decorate Brandon. And yesterday let's see, yesterday was Saturday. So I was over on the live with Katie from the Greenland Quilter for a little while. And see, what did I do? I got my sewing machine all cleaned up. I oiled my sewing machine. And then I made bobbins. And then I worked on my 3.5-inch square quilt that I'm getting ready to work on too. It'll be like that red one I did. It's just going to be squares, that's all. Just 3.5-inch squares. Which is, you know, mindless sewing, I like to call it, you know, just easy to make. And I just really like the look of just patchwork. So this one is going to be like turquoise color or teal. And after I do this one, then I want to do one that is like darker blues. And then probably even a purple one. And then that might be all the quilts I need for my bed. If I would make them smaller, that's what I should do. Is make them smaller, like lap size. Then I could give them out for gifts. And they will make a great donation quilt. All right. I'm going to have to move the light and everything down so I can see better there. This is a big spot right here for dark. Yeah, that looks like number 6. I think that one's 6. Okay, I'll run over and get that Christmas quilt. It is called Winter Wishes. So that's what it looks like. And see how big that panel is. I'm going to do the quilt size. It's a throw 79 by 70. So actually it'll be pretty much the same size as the one up on the wall, the friendship quilt. It'll be about that size. So perfect. It'll be longer than it is, you know, wide, which is good for Brandon because he's tall. He was 6'3". I don't know what he is now, but so I was looking through the pattern earlier, And you actually have to cut this panel down to 28.5 by 38.5, which is really too bad because it has a couple of borders on it already. So I don't know why they did that. You know, couldn't they do the math? Anyway, it's going to be pretty. All right, and so then I was telling you about cutting the squares, 3.5-inch squares. And remember my red, well, it's red and gray quilt that I did, just patchwork. This is going to be pillowcases. But so I want to do one in these colors, you know, colors that match this. So kind of teal. So I've been cutting all those up. Okay, here's what I learned yesterday was from 1 yard of fabric, you can get 120 squares that are 3.5 inches square. 120 out of a yard of fabric. So you need a little over 1,000 of these squares to make a quilt that is 96 inches square, which is what I made with this one. So yeah, so you're going to need, what's that? You know, over 10 yards of fabric. Wow. I didn't realize that until I just started, you know, thinking about that. So that's quite a few yards. So I'm looking forward to doing this one. I love this color. One of my favorite colors. And I think this one's really pretty. And I know Brandon likes blues, so I think he'll like that teal quilt too. Okay. Yeah, I could. That's what I was thinking, Donna. That's one reason why I didn't cut it up yet, because I thought I could just figure that math out myself and leave those. Um, don't cut so much off that panel, right? I mean, so I need to do some math. That's right, Valerie. She said, since when is the pattern anything but a suggestion? Exactly. That's how I look at it. So the that red and gray that I just showed you, um, that's what the quilt looks like downstairs on my bed. And yeah, I had all that extra patchwork. I had a lot of extra patchwork, and so I'm going to use it for like pillow shams, but more like made like a pillowcase, but it's probably going to look like a padded pillowcase. Yeah, padded pillowcase. There we go. Or a quilted pillowcase. Oh, you're making winter wishes too? Oh, okay, Valerie. Thank you. She said Marshall Dry Goods has that fabric line. Okay. I'm surprised you can still get it because um, Are you going to cut up your panel like they say? It's QT Fabrics. Now, I got this from, as a kit from Creative Notions when they were doing their closeout of their quilting fabrics and stuff. So I got it for like, I think I got a like a 40% discount. Hi, Rita. Oh, I know. Pat Sloan. She usually does those in 2.5-inch squares, and she does like I've seen her do quite a bit of different square quilts, but basically she does like leader and ender projects. So she just has these 2.5-inch squares right by her sewing machine, and when she does a leader and an ender with her other projects, and before long, she's, yeah, that is one of the things that made me think of it. And I have been saving up 2.5-inch squares. I do not think I have enough yet to make a really big quilt, maybe a lap. Oh, postage stamp quilts. Oh, yeah, yeah. 5,928. Ooh, 1.5-inch squares. Yeah, that's a lot. Well, hi, Shirley. Long time no see. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, I don't know if I would want to make that small of a large quilt. Might do a little project, a table runner or something like that. The battery died. Okay, move over here a little bit and I have used flannel on the back of my quilts quite often. I really like flannel on the back of my quilts. And I've used minky, um, which I like the feel of minky. I just don't like quilting the minky. But yeah, if I have flannel, enough flannel of something, that's what I'll use. Plus, I'm going to do a quilt called Shifting Crystals. Beautiful design on it. Oh, nice. Hi, Zach. How's it going? Good to see ya. I like to use the flannel or something warm like that. Especially if it's going to be a winter quilt or fall, spring, whatever. So it's a little bit warmer. It's cozy. And it's great also on baby or children quilts because, kids like to cuddle. I also like to pick up that 108 if I can get it on sale. Um, Especially for your big quilts, like the the big quilt that I did that was 96 square. I used a 108 on the back of that, and it really made it so much easier. But you really got to watch the prices on those, because I know it can be convenient not to have the line, your sewing line in the way. But if you're paying, triple the price for it, is that really worth it? No, not my opinion, but so I tend to buy, if I find prints on sale that I think would look good as a backing, I buy probably, 5 to 7, 8 yards of it, and then I just piece it. Easy peasy, right? Over here on the horse's nose. Some people use a batting and some people don't. I do use a low loft batting when when the backing is flannel, but sometimes I don't use any batting when it's the minky. A lot of times. It depends, really. I have used uh, batting with minky, but it was a child's quilt, and I used a polyester batting because I wanted it really poofy, and so yeah, quilting stitches were really far apart so that it would stay really poofy, and it works, it worked. Made it nice and poofy, especially after you wash it. Yeah, cotton sheets work great for the backing. And you can even get flannel sheets and use those. So if you can find that stuff while it's on sale at the store, I would just look at the count, the weave count on it, because some of those sheets can be, if the weave is really tight, that'll be really silky. And if you want that, that's fine. Or the weave could be too loose. So just check the weave count on it. And sometimes you can find really nice new sheets at a thrift store. I think nowadays some quilters that have gotten too critical about the fabrics and stuff that we use for quilting. And I look at it this way. Back in the old days, like I had a quilt that was my great grandmother's, and um, they were sheep farmers or ranchers, whatever, herders. They had sheep, okay? And there were a few, what she called old maids in the town, and they would go along the fence lines and they would pick up the, the fluff, the cotton from the sheep's wool, not cotton, wool. Um, and then they used that in their quilts. And the pieces of fabric they used in the quilt were from old shirts, um, dresses, flour bags, just whatever they could get their hands on. So, I mean, they didn't go, oh, well, this isn't made by Moda or whatever. I'm just using that as an example, you know. Um, I don't think they really cared. Uh, they probably, from according to my great grandmother, would be excited to use those fabric flour sacks. I know a lot of quilters were excited about those, or people who wanted to make dresses and that kind of stuff out of them. So yeah, you can make a quilt out of whatever you want. I even know people who make quilts with polyester. Personally, I wouldn't make a quilt from polyester, but there are people who do it and they love it. So hi Laura, how you doing? Exactly. No quilt, please. I saw some, I can't remember who it was, and even if I did remember who it was, I wouldn't say, but they were saying that somebody was giving them a hard time about the way their quilts looked, which is, why do that? I don't understand that. I mean, um, not everybody wants your suggestions, right? So I felt bad for her that she's getting crap like that. And that's not the kind of friends you want. I mean, it, it's one thing if you're asking for help, asking for opinions. How can I do this better? Um, that's different. But I think you can tell if somebody goes, oh, look what I made. And you can tell that they're really excited about what they made. So do you go, oh, look at all the mistakes you made on that? You know, how can you be excited about, you really should fix that. You should fix that. No, don't do that. Just be excited for them and, you know, right? Because everybody's going to get better at their sewing skills as they go along. When I first started quilting or piecing, um, I wanted to learn everything I could about it before I started too much. I mean, I did try some blocks from Missouri Star Quilt, you know, that Jenny was doing. I thought they were beautiful. I could do that. I could do that, you know. And they turned out terrible. At the time, I didn't think they were too bad, you know. I definitely needed improvement. And I'm like, I learned a few things from my mistakes. I learned that I really needed to learn how to sew a quarter of an inch and how to sew straight, you know, instead of going all wonky. And I decided that don't start with the things that are too difficult. Try something easy, like just squares. Just sew squares together. Get your quarter of an inch down, get all the things down, you know, and then when you feel comfortable doing that, then move on to something else, right? A lot of people, I think, when they first get started in this, they want to make the most beautiful quilt there is, and it's got all these half square triangles, and you know what I mean. It's really difficult. And then they just get, you know, flustered and it doesn't turn out the way the pattern looks like it should. And they either don't finish it, never pick up quilting again, or, you know, and that's not good. So yeah, anyway, just remember that your words matter. Well, I think she was like sharing her projects on Facebook group or something like that. And somebody made not so kind comments about it and, you know, really hurt her feelings. I try really, really super hard not to say anything if I see a mistake. Only if somebody asks me, can you see any mistakes on this? Then I will look for mistakes. Otherwise, I just try to be as supportive as I can. Okay, I think I got this all traced out. Oh, all right, I missed a couple. Well, more than a couple. Okay, that looks pretty good. All right, let's see what you guys are. Finished is better than perfect. Exactly. Someone asked me, you see any mistakes? I say, well, can you see any mistakes? There you go. That's a good one. I hear you, Laura. She says, it always makes me sad when I read unkind comments. Apparently some people weren't taught to just be kind. Yeah, Donna, the horse is pretty big. It is 36 by 47. And you know, I make mistakes all the time. Sometimes I fix them and sometimes I don't. It depends on, you know, what the project is. Yeah, um, I agree, Brenda. Says sometimes um, she doesn't see the mistake until after she's posted the picture and she appreciates the heads up. Yeah, there's that too. What color frame to use around the horses over there hanging up? Oh, I just looked through my stash and picked out something that I thought went well with the horse itself. And you're not very close, but they really are pretty colorful borders. Oh, that's funny, Rita. Well, we are at an angle too, so. Oh, I like to, Brenda, just picking up from that. If I like, if I'm posting a picture of like the quilt top, the project's not completely done, then yeah, I definitely want to know if there was a mistake there. But if the quilt is like completely done, you know, the quilting is done, the binding is on, it's done, 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 then I don't want to know about the mistake. Because if I haven't found it by then, you know, because I'm not going to fix it at that point. Definitely kindness goes a long way. Absolutely. Okay, so I got those all traced out. Now I'm going to put the um, numbers of the fabric. So I'm using 6 different shades, and within those shades there's, you know, probably 6 or more to choose from. So I have 1, 2, so this would be the lightest. This is the next dark, and then they just keep getting darker and darker and darker and darkest. So I have 6 totes, and I know I've showed you guys all of that before. So now what I'm going to do is, this pattern has 6 different shades. So I'm just go through and mark some of these with what shade that is, because it's hard to tell through the parchment paper. Thank you, Valerie. Yeah, the Summer Breeze horses are definitely a different technique. This one is definitely a lot more detailed. But like I don't know, some of you probably weren't here earlier. There are some spots that I've already done on this that I want to go and fix, like right in here. For some reason, my fabrics got mixed up. This should be a little bit lighter, so I'll go in and fix that. And but I'm not going to do that any repairs until the end. So after I get all this done, then I'll hang this horse up on the design wall behind me, and that's where I plan on making the repairs over there. Oh, good. Yeah, I saw a video of that, Kathy, of the Jolly box. Kathy R. um, I don't normally get those specialty boxes, so. Oh, thank you, Laura. It's really sweet of you. Teresa, would that horse be in the category of a... Oh, I don't know. I mean, it's going to be a wall hanging, so it's, 36 by 47. And this is what the picture looks like. Now, I am using different colors than what the original artist used. Some of them are kind of similar. She used more gray tones than me, and kind of reds. Yeah, I don't think we have as much kindness in this world as there used to be. We've had a lot of craziness and rude. Just being rude. I used to get picked on when I was in school. My mom used to always say to me, "Sticks and stones will break your bones, but name and faces will never hurt you." Yeah, keyboard warriors. Yeah, that's for sure, Jamie. Oh, Kathy Quilts, you're getting your box tomorrow? Yeah, I know. It would be a lot, Rita. Totally understand. But I was thinking about this. You really wouldn't have to cut pieces really small like what I'm doing, especially when you're using batiks. You could do this more like um, the Summer Breeze horses up there and just only have just 6 fabrics. And that would have made it a lot easier. And you would still have all of that depth and so forth because you're using batiks. You have a lot of different colors in it. And so I think it would still work. I would I would like to try that. So maybe on the next one that I do, maybe I'll try that technique and see how it turns out. Would make it go a lot faster too. Okay, I need to stand up for a minute. Move around. You guys get up, move around. I was thinking the next one I would like to do is a bear. And I know Emily Taylor has a pattern for the bear. She also has one of a buck. And I thought about getting those, but I have some paintings that I did years ago of a bear and a buck, and I was thinking I ought to just use those as my reference, trace them out, because then it would be like an original TeresaLouise, right? And they're not quite as big as as this, although I could enlarge it. All right. I know I'm not getting anything put on here, but now I think I'm going to turn this light off. So, and now I'm going to number. So definitely this is number one. One, one, two. And so this is why I'm numbering this is because I don't want to have to keep picking this up. once I get putting fabric on here. And like I said earlier, some of these are really hard to tell between 1 and 2 or 2 and 3. Mostly like 3 and 4. They're really close. 3. This is a big area of 6. Humongous area. A lot of really colors here. I think this is 5. 5. And see, this is where it gets difficult for me, is that could be 3 or it could be 2. And since there's not another really light color, okay, so that must be 2. 1, 2, so that must be 3. So that must be 4, 5, 6. 4, 5, 6. I know you guys can't even really see what I'm doing. I probably should bring you closer, huh? Oh yeah, I used to oil paint in acrylic, like put acrylic down first, and then go back over it with all your detail with oils. You save a lot of oil paint that way, and yeah, I used to do the big saw blades, you know, and I've sold a few of those. We're talking years ago. Um, I still have some saw blades though out in the shed, and I'm thinking, you know, I really should do something with those one of these days. And I would like to get back into painting, but now I got all this fabric. Right? Hi, Kathy. Oh, you didn't know I had my own channel? Oh, huh. Yep, I do. I know I'm missing a lot of comments. Sorry, you guys. I don't know if you've asked me questions that I've missed, or if I have, I apologize. What is Joyce asking? Oh, okay. Maybe yeah, definitely don't cut and try to read comments. Yeah, okay. Hey Lily, how you doing? Good to see ya. All right, let's see where am I at. So that one. This must be two, two. That must be three. Gotta be two. Two. I think that is one. That must be four. That's five. Getting kind of hungry. Oh, I wish I could watercolor, Laura. I can a little bit, but I'm not really great at it. But with my oil paint that I did, I was part of it is kind of like almost watercolor technique, except for you're using some other medium besides water, of course, because you're using oil, so you don't really use water with that. So either mostly like turpentine, or there's other mediums out there that you can use to thin the paint. And I did one of these days, I need to bring my paintings up and show you guys the big ones. Most of them are downstairs hanging on the wall. But I would like to take an area over here by the sewing. I have a table I could turn into a spot where I'm painting. So I would like to do that. Maybe this winter. Oh, Brenda, my current block is 12 inches. I want to make a square in a square and make it bigger. Okay, so you're basically going to turn that block on point and make those bigger. So is it 12 inches unfinished or 12 inches finished? Or 12 inches unfinished? So that is the question. Hi Zaza, how are you doing? Yeah, I think so, Laura. Stick people. Do you guys remember the game Pictionary? I thought I thought I would be really good at Pictionary because I can draw. Well, as it turns out, I tried to draw too much, right? So I would take too long in drawing something. Whereas the people that just did stick figures and funny little things um, were a lot faster than me. So I had to quit doing that. And that was a really fun game. My first husband loved to play games. We had so many games. I mean, we had them all. We just had every game they came out with. Loved to play games. Where's your reference book? Oh, unfinished. Okay, gotcha. I believe a 9.5 inch square, cut it in two. I'm a stick figure expert. There you go, Joe. Kathy says she's horrible at that game. The more you play it, I think the better you get, right? Oh, yeah. And I used to love to play Battleship. That one was a lot of fun. I liked Monopoly, but that's a long game. But if you were into partying and staying up all night, that was the game for you. What other games? Well, there was Life. Wasn't there War or something? Oh, Yahtzee. I love Yahtzee. And Scrabble. Now, I'm not a very good speller. In fact, I'm terrible. But I'm really good at Scrabble because I don't know why. I'm just good at it. I win Scrabble a lot, which is pretty funny, actually, because I don't spell very well. But I think it's because people are trying to think of big words, a big word that is difficult, right? And I think of all the easy words that I can spell, even if they're big. I don't try to make it complicated. So, yeah, I like just trimming it down also, for sure. Oh, I played backgammon for a little while too. I had a coworker that really liked to play backgammon, and when we went to one of the company's properties to do land management stuff, he would always bring that backgammon, and at the end of the work day, after dinner, that we'd sit down and play backgammon and have a beer. But if you ask me how to play backgammon now, I don't think I could remember. I have to get the instructions out. Oh, aggravation. Oh, yeah, I played that one too. Exactly, Laura. Yeah. That's kind of how it is in my house. Also, Brandon and I used to play chess, and oh man, I had to play that game over and over and over again. I lost so many times until I finally won. I think he was just getting tired of playing. I don't know, but because I really never played that game, you know, till Brandon and we were out camping, and it was just one of those. We had a little chess set. You could play chess or checkers. And so he taught me pretty much how to play. I mean, I had a general idea of how to play the game, um, but he really taught me how to play. And so, yeah, I won one time. But Scrabble, I beat him in Scrabble more often than not. But he's actually better at trivia, especially if it's the old time music, like the 60s and stuff. You know, he knows all the music. Okay, let's see. I think this is 4. Looks like 4. 4. 5. I can't wait to do the nose. I think I'm going to work on the nose next. And then do a fill-in. I would have been done with this a long time ago if I would have painted it. That 1. Yeah, this is 1, 2. All right, so I can. Five. 4. I don't know. I might do this nose a little bit different. I'm thinking I might bring up a photo of a horse and look at the nose, because I don't really like the inside of the nose. Okay. I think I've marked it up well enough. Okay, for those of you that were not here earlier, I mentioned this iron iron cleaner. It's called Magic Iron Cleaner. This stuff works great. Um, when you're doing this and you're using batiks and you're using fusibles and stuff, your little iron tends to get really dirty. Okay, and this guy was super dirty, and so I cleaned it this morning. Look at that. Look at that. Yeah. So I have a nice clean iron ready to go. And let's see, what do we have? Yeah, some, oh, hi, Katie. Yeah, a big part of it is black or darker, really dark colors. So, and I like to start with my darkest first. There, well, it doesn't really matter, but I'm going to start with the, so I'm going to get out 5 and 6 and yeah. Now some of my 5s can actually, or 6, this is 6. Some of the 6 fabric, and some of it could be actually 5 because of the different colors and stuff on the batiks. And some of my 5s can actually be used partly in 6 or 4. And that, you know, that's what I like about batiks. Like even this one, here we have 1, which would be the lightest color. So I could cut this out and use it in 1. And then this one could be like 3 and 4, 5, 6. So I actually have like 5 different shades from light to dark that I could pick from this. So this definitely why I like to use the batiks. And even like this one is kind of the same thing. So there's different areas in this, like this is a little bit lighter right here, so I could cut that out and maybe use it in 3. And then this piece I could use over in number 5, 4 or 5 on that one. So you kind of get the point there. Same thing with something like this. You have a really dark, so I could use that in 6 or 5. And here's like maybe a 3, 4. You ordered the iron cleaner, Joe? Awesome. Okay, so I need my scissors, my tweezers. Oh, it's after 3 o'clock already. Okay. I can turn that light back on. That is helpful. And turn that iron down a little bit. And I'm just going to just go ahead and dump these out, because I have quite a big area to do with these darks. And I'm just kind of spreading these out a little bit. I really love this really dark blue right here. I've been using that one quite a bit. I hope I have more of it, or else I'm going to run out. And like this one works really good for shading areas. So let's say I have a dark area, but I need it to go move into lighter. I could cut this out and use that, and it would be kind of like shading, if that makes sense. I hate it when that happens. Sometimes I get like little jolts of pain, unexpected. Like right there, felt like I got poked by a needle or maybe stung by a bee right in my leg, and there's nothing there. So it was just a nerve thing, right? I hate it when that happens. Now, some of this I'm saving for, you're like, why would you save that? Okay? Because I'm going to use it up here in the mane as hair. So I'm saving pieces like this. I'm glad you asked. Thank you. Oh, Kathy. You know, thank you for asking. It still hurts. His hand still hurts. It's still a little swollen. I really think he's got quite a bit of nerve damage in there. So next week I'm going to call get him an appointment. I think he needs to go in and see a specialist on it. But he was trying a bunch of different products to take the ache, the pain away, you know, like Bengay and stuff like that. And he was mixing them on his hand. Well, he burnt his skin. I mean, really, he burnt it. He got welts, like blisters, from doing that. So it's not always good to mix products at all. So I've been putting a burn treatment stuff on top of it. So not only is it swollen and it hurts and all that, he can't put any, you know, Bengay or anything like that on there because it's blistered. Husbands. So I know I'm just trying to clear up the burns. it's not always good to mix your stuff. I kind of feel the same way about makeup. I always felt like I should stay with the same product and not mix things up. But I really don't wear much makeup anymore. Sometimes I will wear face powder and lipstick, but I can't wear mascara. Um, really, really bothers my eyes. But when I was younger, I wore mascara and eyeliner, eyeshadow. I did all the things. Did all the things. But as I got older, my eyes became more irritated with makeup. And so I just quit wearing makeup. So for the most part, for the last, you know, 25 years at least, I haven't really worn makeup. But like I said, now and then, lipstick, a little bit of face powder, and it's all good. Mostly when I come on here. Sometimes I don't put any makeup on at all before I go live, but today I put face powder on because I felt like it. I don't know, Kathy. I don't know about that because he doesn't listen to me. So why have me if he's not going to listen to me? Well, and the thing is, Laura, um, I told him not to mix those, but he didn't listen to me. So, you know, I said, I don't think mixing those is a very good idea. They could have a chemical reaction and that wouldn't feel too good. But in his brain, he's going, oh no, you don't know what you're talking about. I hate to be right on something like that because, I don't want him to be in more pain. But what you gonna do? What you gonna do, ladies? Oh, yeah. I have some of that. I've been okay with that. I use it on my thumbs, especially right in here. My thumbs get really sore. I didn't even think to let him use that. I'm glad I didn't. Yeah, Laura, I don't even put makeup on when I go to the store or post office or anything. I mean, I make sure I'm dressed and my hair's brushed and all that. I look fine. But I think most people are like used to seeing me without makeup. So, and when I quit wearing makeup, it did take me a while to get used to the way my face looked. Um, but I tan up really good in the summertime, you know, um, so there is that. That kind of helps if you're a little bit tan. Oh, exactly, Kathy. One time when I was at work and I used to manage some pizza parlors, and I sat down on a bucket, like a 5-gallon bucket, had a lid on it. I sat down on it to talk to somebody, who was in the office, you know. I'm saying, and all of a sudden my butt starts burning. I'm like, what the heck? And I jumped up, and well, it turns out that it was a cleaning uh, product inside of that bucket, and it had one of those pull out spouts on top of the lid, you know, and whoever used it last did not clean the lid off. And so I set right into that concentrated soap, whatever it was. I think it was for a floor cleaner. I don't. Oh my God, you guys. I got blistered. Yeah, that hurt. I've done that, Suzanne. Walked out of the house with my slippers and my pajama bottoms on. um, Actually lived in a smaller town than this, and where my parents were living, and I had a lot of relatives in this little town. Okay, at one time I had 27 relatives living in this little teeny town. So yeah, I mean, a third of the population was related to me. Why they all moved there, I have no idea. Be closer to the older people, I guess. And everybody used to just, you know, go to the store, because we had a little teeny store, and there was a post office. And a lot of time, I mean, the ladies, they would just go with their slippers on and their pajama bottoms, sweatpants, their hair and curlers, you know, down to the store and post office. Nobody cared, because chances were you're running into one of your relatives, so what the heck. Yeah, it was terrible. Joe. So yeah, I had to put a sign up at work that said, you know, clean the bucket lid. That really surprised me. I didn't expect that to happen at all. So some cleaning products are pretty bad, you know. Boy, it's just a beautiful day out there. So for those of you who came in late, I did get the friendship quilt top done. And what time is it? Okay, I can go a little bit longer because I haven't put one piece of fabric on here. So I put a 3-inch border all the way around, and it turned out to be 58 and a quarter by 70 and a half. Okay, so there's that. And I'm going to move you up a little bit closer so you can see what I'm working on over here. Wish I had a little more table over here. I would set the camera over there, but Okay, get ready. Here we go. Okay, so here's the nose. All right, so I need darks, dark, dark, dark. So this whole spot right here is all number 6, which is the darkest. So this one, not that dark, but it does have really dark spots in it. So I could still use this. So, but not as much as these. Okay, so all of these I want to use right in here. So this one and this one is the same, but this one has a lot more brown in it, even though it's the same piece of fabric. Oh, sorry. I didn't realize you couldn't see. This is the same piece of fabric, but this side has more brown and this one has more blue. And this one's very dark, and this is the one I was talking about. Even though it's lighter overall than this, it has some really dark spots in it. And so I could fussy cut the really dark spots out for some of that. Okay, so that's why I have this one in there. And then I also have this dark blue, which I really like that. It is a little bit lighter than the really dark parts, but again, it has some really dark areas in it. And so that's why I have it in number 6. Okay, so hi, Melissa. How many flippy corners did I make? Just exactly what the pattern said, Brenda. I made the, if you go get the pattern off of my main YouTube page, under post, I put the supply and the cutting instructions. And wasn't it, I think it was like 48, right? 48 sewing flips. Let me get the paper. It's over here. Didn't have to walk over there after all. Let's see. So she's talking about the quilt on the wall behind me, the friendship. So I did the 12 block friendship quilt. So you get 3 by 4 blocks, and without the border, it's 48.5 by 64.5. And yeah, so you make 48 sew-and flips for that. So if that was your question, I don't know if that's probably making it backwards. And it's not very dark. So you could go over there and print that off if you want. Yeah, I thought you had it, but all right. So just kind of cut these out, kind of like little puzzle pieces, trying to stick in the dark. And then I just fill in the spot. And tweezers, please. And I just kind of go along and find a spot where I think it'll fit. And then just don't over press it. Just lightly press it down. Otherwise you'll burn up all your glue. All right. Oh, you had the list? Great. Okay. And you want to overlap at least 1/8 of an inch of overlap, because when I go to take this off, I want it all to stick together, because I'm going to be peeling this all off and then putting it on a big piece of fabric and then quilt it. Let's see. Okay. Now this one is super black. Where are you watching the first snowfall? We haven't. Well, actually, we got snow about, what was it, about 3 weeks ago? But it melted and hasn't come back since. Wow, that one was pretty right on. The more you do this, I think the better you get at cutting out the shapes that you want. Go. Oh yeah, that's a good spot right there. Indiana. Okay. Let's see, we're going to be on just a little bit longer, but Tiffany's Quilting Life comes on at 4 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, so I probably won't stay on. And I have been on since here's a nice dark purple one I found on the floor since what, 1:30? Yeah. That one was already cut out, and I think I like it. Yeah, we would like to go to Arizona. Oh, went out for lunch. Nice. Let's see, do I have any little pieces? The stomach is starting to growl. Whoops. I kept the paper instead of the... What the heck? Okay, something was wrong with that. Dang it. I wanted this one. But it doesn't have any glue down on the bottom. I liked the shading on that little piece right there, so that's why I cut it out. I think I will just move this one. Somewhere else. That's a good spot. I wish I could get you guys closer. Ooh, that sounds good. Lasagna, garlic bread, and salad. It was delicious. Sounds delicious. What part of Arizona do you live in, if you don't mind saying? I mean, you don't have to say the exact spot. You could just kind of say the area. It's pretty chilly here, especially as soon as the sun goes down. Oh, I'm making hot Italian sausages with sauerkraut and maybe French fries, or I might do French yams. Oh, okay. Gotcha, Laura. I don't think I want to be by Phoenix. I would like to go down to like the camping areas, but I don't know if I want to, I don't know, like BLM land or what's that town where everybody goes? I always forget the name of it. I don't think it's that far from Phoenix. I think it's northwest of Phoenix. Um, Gosh, what's the name of that place? It's right on the tip of my tongue. They get a, big group of RVers. Courtside. I was going to say they have a lot of rock shows, and then that's what got me to remember Courtside. I think I'm almost done. We are in the East Valley. Okay. Gotcha. Let's see. I can hear Brandon down there in the kitchen making something. I can smell it too. Cut some of that point off. I don't need that much overlap. Okay, looks like we have about 10 minutes. Geez, I just got started on... I might go get me a snack and come back up so I can keep working on this. Because now I'm in the mood. I'm in the mood, baby. Hey, Willa. Are you in the mood, Willa? She's probably ready to go for a walk. They usually go for at least 2 walks a day. There, that's looking good. It was weird is the nostril holes are up here. Way up here. So I don't... It'll probably be all right. I'll do it. Yeah, that's probably true. Well, it needs a potty break. Hey, Kay. Yes, that is so true. And I could see Tiffany. That would be fun. go over and sew with Tiffany. All right, I am going to turn all this down and let you guys go. And I might come back up later after I go down and get a snack. Not too much of a snack because dinner is not that far off. One thing about the time change, I do eat earlier now than I did before. So that's good. But yeah, she's a sweetheart. Hey, Marla. Bye. Have a good night. Thanks for coming. Appreciate all of you. Really good to see you and visit with you. And I will look at my schedule for next week. I'd like to come on a couple of times during the week. So maybe Tuesday or something like that. And maybe work on the horse. And then another time during the week, just come on and sew. I need to make some pillowcases. So if you're interested in that, we'll make pillowcases. Hi, Mona. Just getting ready to take off. Thanks for coming. Shutting things down for now. I know, darn. Thank you, Laura. Appreciate it. Thank you, Melissa. Okay. Take care, Joe. Take care, Mona. Bye, everybody. It was great to see you. Yeah, Tuesday. I'll look and see who else is live on Tuesday and try to squeeze in somewhere. So I'm hoping around 11 o'clock, but we'll see. Goodbye, Valerie. Bye, Laura. Bye, Kathy. Have a great week, everybody. Bye for now. Till next time. God bless y'all.